And how's it going, guys and girls? It's me, Adzank, welcome back on my channel, and yet again we are here to play DDLC Storm. Yes, we are back to play as Yuri. As I said yesterday, I'm gonna record today the rest of that day because it was going nuts. And I hope I don't have to read any more bullshit coming from Yuri. So, let's get started. Let's go. Load game, and here we are. Okay, normal people get disgusted or afraid or angry when I talk about blood, or even basic anatomy. I've always been fascinated by human anatomy, how all your body parts and organs work together in harmony, how even the smallest parts right down to the tiniest cell has its role, even the smallest drops of blood. Reading and learning about it has helped me appreciate how wondrous and beautiful the human form is. But people always react badly if I try to express that to them. I wonder why. The day I got the most severely punished, I long to tell Luke about how much I want to carefully explore every inch of his body in excruciating detail. That if the banner wasn't between us, I would probably throw myself at him right now. Why? Wait, what? But he would probably hate that. He would hate me. I would scare him away. How can I think such lustful thoughts around something that any normal person would find disturbing? It's a reminder that I deserve the pain I'm feeling, but I shouldn't think too hard about that, or I might break another of my rules. The one that says I won't cut myself more than once a day. This kinda reminds me of elementary school. Ah, Luke's voice breaks the silence, forcing me to refocus my attention. I'm sorry if it feels too childish. No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know? Yeah, because in elementary school you used to play with all kinds of stuff, used to do every kind of stuff. I got to do this. Now that he mentions it, this is rather enjoyable. I think I didn't have this task to occupy my hands. I would probably totally lose my mind right now. Yeah, it is fun. I'm glad you feel that way too. I find myself reflecting on the time that Luke and I have spent together in the last few days. I'm aware that most people seem to prefer to go out and party to have fun, but that's never had any appeal to me. For me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. In fact, I usually don't even want to. I just like when I can spend time with one other person, even if it's something simple, like reading. It doesn't even matter if we don't talk much. Just having a friend next to me makes things a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Before meeting him, I wouldn't have known to say that. I feel a bit of pride about being able to say it with some authority now. Is that so? I think I feel the same way. I don't even have to force my smile this time. I knew you would understand. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cry out, but I was already feeling quite tense. I let go of the brush I was reaching for and reflexively put my hand to my head, where it collided with his. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. Not my head, anyway. It just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me. It's not your fault. It's your face. Is there something on my face? Yeah, I instantly got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get the towel right away. He rushes out of the room. I don't know how long I have. I quickly grab the knife from the floor, fold it and throw it in my bag. I feel bad about folding it up and when it's covered in blood, and I forgot to read the rest. It feels somehow disrespectful to the blood on the inside of it. Oh, don't go that way. But I'll worry about cleaning it properly later. I hear the sound of water running in the distance. I want to inspect my wound. I can feel the blood running down my arm, coming to a point at my elbow. But I'm afraid of the prospect of coming back in while I'm looking at it. I have no idea how messy it is. Time passes, I still hear the water running. How long is it going to take? If I know I had this much time, I definitely would have looked. I'm inwardly cursing myself for not doing it when I had the chance. And now I hear the water turn off and his footsteps coming back, so it really is too late. My breath catches in my throat when he kneels down in front of me at arm's length. Here, the towel is hot when he applies it to my face. I welcome the heat after being so cold for so long. And the contact of his hand arouses me all over again. Yeah, is something wrong? I probably shouldn't moan like that. Jeez. It's hot, I just didn't expect it. Sorry, I didn't want to use cold water. After wiping down my face and neck, he starts to pull his hand away. Without thinking, I grab hold of his wrist and hold his hand against my neck. Wait. Eh? Just for a little longer. Ooh. The fuck? Jeez. This is gonna be fun. Just for a little longer. It feels really nice. That's an understatement. Ah, I look into his eyes while gently but firmly holding on to him. There's an energy crackling between us that sets my heart racing. I part my lips ready to put his beautiful hand in my mouth again. But I know I shouldn't do that. I feel so much pent up emotion that I want to do something. I pull closer to him, not taking my eyes off of him. I'm thankful that for the fact that there's no longer a barrier between us. My body aches to be with him. Should I kiss him? Don't. I cast my mind back to every romance novel I ever read. They always do all kinds of stuff together, but it always starts with a kiss. And it's usually initiated by the man. I guess that means I have to wait for him. Why does these stupid gender rules exist? It's not a rule. You can do whatever you want. Like, bitch, you don't need to be waiting for a man to do everything. You can also try and do it for yourself. In fact, we don't try to reach out for girls anymore because they just take it as a harassment. So we kinda don't do that anymore. Because most of them say it's harassment. So what gives? That's why. And we have been broken so much that we just can't be bothered anymore about it. And so now, at least most of the men just wait for the girls to act like before we do. Either way, let's keep going. Why can't I just be kissing him right now? Why won't he kiss me? I want to grab his other wrist and pin him to the bed. I want to embrace him hard and make love like there is no tomorrow. But I told myself, I don't know if he wants this. It has to be his decision. He just looks nervous and confused right now. Maybe he's just confused as I am. Maybe he wants me but he also doesn't know how to proceed. Or maybe he really doesn't want any of this after all. I don't know, I just don't know. And why did I take the risk of initiating the kiss? Would it be okay? Would it be wrong? How wrong would it be? Right now I feel like something doesn't happen. I'm going to explode. I'll do it. My pounding heart overwhelms me. But just as I start to move I notice something. Something wet just touched my leg. Ah, blood has soaked through the sleeve of my sweater. There's a visible red spot on my elbow and it's dripping onto me. I pull away from him, trying to keep my elbow out of view. Sorry, I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. Really, I'm feeling lightheaded. I start worrying again about how much blood I'm losing. If my calculus are correct, a lot. You didn't have to do such a deep wound, you bit. You know what? Forget about it. I try to hide my expression by picking up my paintbrush while also discreetly trying to inspect my elbow. I have a hold of myself awkwardly to do this while keeping it out of his view. Fortunately, the blood spot on the elbow is small, so it isn't hard to conceal it. But I'm sure it's just a matter of time before it grows to a noticeable size. Meanwhile, he just picks up his own brush and resumes painting from his previous position. I'll have to abandon all thoughts of any further intimacy today. I'm sure it would kill any possible romantic mood if I accidentally get him covered in blood. Fortunately, it isn't long before we finish painting. That should do it. Look has just put the last of the stars in the sky at the night section. Despite all that, I'm feeling I can't help admiring our work. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you going to head to the littering now? Yeah, not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true, but won't that take a while? Well, this would have been an excellent excuse to spend more time with him, but I really need to go. Perhaps it would be best to leave it here, and have you bring it in the morning. I can do the littering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? Absolutely fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Phew. Is he relieved? That hurts a little. That was the most forced laugh I've ever uttered. You say that like you're glad it's over. I was wrong to assume you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit. Yeah, no, it's not that. I'm just glad that we managed to get everything done. I see. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't kiss him then. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I need to go. I need to start making dinner soon. Ah, so you don't have any time left? Well, I really, really want to stay. He has no idea how much I want to stay right now and be with him. But I can't. I desperately need to get home and clean myself up. I think it would be too irresponsible for me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I really am. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. I'm sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not your fault at all. It really isn't. And the important thing is that we got everything done, right? Yeah, so I shouldn't be disappointed or anything. I tried to occupy myself with gathering my things, but the weight of the disappointment is crushing me. Jeez. Luke walks me out of the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. I wish he did have me. I wish he had me all night long. Jeez, why do you make me read this shit? Jeez, Yuri. You are a piece that I won't take. Jeez. No problem. I'm glad I was able to help. Just let me know if there's anything else you need to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then. I fumble with my sleeve, making sure the bloody spot is out of his view. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait, about today. It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we needed, because we can do this again, whenever you want, and you can come over, or we can go out somewhere. Ah, I forgot you don't like going out much. He nervously stammers and trips over his words, but all I can do is smile, because it means this isn't over. Maybe I'll have another chance another day. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so you're very thoughtful, Luke. I step forward and take his hand, being careful to keep my bloody arm behind my back. I kind of like that about you. Well, I want to hold him, to hug him, to embrace him, and I know this is all I can do now. Anything else I'll have to wait until another day. And then I see something that makes me pull back in fear. Sayuri? Eh? Ah, hi Luke. Sayuri. Just now we weren't. It's okay, Luke. I just stopped by to say hi. I have to go. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my leave. On my way to leave. Oh, really? That's too bad. I'm sorry. But we'll get together at the festival tomorrow, so that's fine, right? Of course. She's smiling, but it's clearly the mask again. Yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow. Run. I run. I just keep running away, cradling my elbow. I don't look back. The whole way home I feel nothing but anger. Anger at myself, harm habit. Anger at the world. Anger at Zawagdo. Why did I do it? Why did I do it? Why did I do it? Because you are a bitch and you fell into your desire. That happens. It's normal. Like, besides the usual joke around I do behind these stupid questions, it sometimes happens. You cannot always control your desires and addictions. However, you can try to control them more often. You don't need to put a stop it. You can't stop it right on the day you want. It's a progress you have to make. Eventually, you will stop liking doing that. You will stop enjoying and feeling well after cutting yourself, and you'll finally leave that be. That's actually what I think it is, but who knows. In my case it was like that. But either way, if I hadn't given in to my urges, I could probably be making sweet tender. Oh shit, why now? Instead of feeling this burning sexual frustration that makes me want to break things. Break your bones. Since you are a lot into self-harm, why don't you break a finger? That way you'll feel better, I guess. Wait a bit. The first thing I do when I get home is pull out my knife out of my bag and hurl it across the room. It makes a loud bang against the wall and falls to the floor. This is all your fault. I'm shaking with fury. I look over at the rest of my collection on the rack hanging on the wall. I rush over and aggressively wrench it down, the nails that were supporting it to fly. I throw the whole thing to the floor with a crash. All my knives got clattering across the room. I don't even try to control my heavy breathing as I gaze down in rage at them. It takes a few minutes of standing there staring at them for me to calm down enough to sit down on my bed. It's taking me years to build up my collection. It's taking me years to build up my collection. Some were ordered online, some I picked up from a trade show. I worked hard to acquire my knives, I've spent a lot of money on them. In some cases I had to do scary things to get them, and they've held a price of place on my wall for a long time. But now I find I can only look at them with disgust. I know they're not the cause of my addiction to self-harm that comes from within me. But at the same time, I bend down and pick up the display rack. When I go around and pick up all the knives one by one, I pile them on the rack. Every single one of them. And tears are already forming in my eyes as I do this. I carry them outside. I feel tears streaming down my face as I approach the garbage can. I'm sorry. You're all very beautiful, and I'm going to miss you. But I can't do this anymore. I dump them all in the garbage. I'm really going to miss you. I'm struggling to maintain some semblance of control of my emotions as I turn my back on them. I enter my room. My eyes are drawn to the empty space where the knives used to be. Something about the sight makes me feel like something is breaking inside of me. I collapse on my bed, sobbing. I feel like I've just lost a fundamental part of myself. I don't know how I will ever fill the empty hole I left behind. I have no idea how long I spend lying there crying, but I eventually become aware of the blood soaking through the sleeve of my sweater. Finally, you remembered. It's staining my bed sheet red, and it reminds me of why I'm doing this. I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing the right thing. I don't know if it makes me feel any better. Jesus fucking Christ, some people have really thick skulls to actually get what the other is saying, but still, I don't give a fuck. Well, in any case I should go clean myself. I really hope this is the last time I have to do this. I remove my sweater to get a better look at my injury. That's yet another sweater I've ruined, and I don't know if I'll be able to save this one. My upper arm and elbow are covered in blood. I wash it away to get a better look. Fortunately the cut doesn't look very deep, but it's long enough that it will take a few bandages to cover it. As I'm cleaning it, I find myself thinking about what Natsuki told me yesterday. She was right. I needed to get angry. I think this is the only way I'm going to be able to move forward with my life. With the cut cleaned, I head back to my room. I carefully avoid looking at the empty space where my knife rack used to be as I get the box of bandages from my bag. As I sit on the bed applying the bandages to my wound, I consider my next steps. Maybe the next step has to be the scariest of all. I need to admit that I have a problem. That much is obvious, but I need to admit it to him. And I think it will be easier now that I can claim that it's a thing in the past. Fuck. My knives are all gone. There's nothing else keeping me and Luke apart. Or so I hope. He's been so good to me. He's been so accepting of all my faults so far. It gives me hope that maybe I can share this deeply personal aspect of myself, without scaring him away permanently. There are so many ways this can go. I imagine that in the best case scenario, he will understand me and love me and respect me, and accept me, and we can be together forever, as I can be happy for the rest of my life. But in the worst case scenario, he will be disgusted and hate me and tell everyone, so that everyone else hates me too. That ain't happening, but still, go for it, I guess. And I will be miserable for whatever amount of life I would have after that. This could either be the best or worst thing I do in my life. You should probably confess, yeah, you should probably tell that you have a issue, and that's it. But then again, in all the best stories, some part of the hero has to die on the way of achieving their quest. That's what this is for me, the point of no return. No matter what happens, my old way of life dies, and I move on to the next leg of my journey. With so much riding on this decision, would probably it would probably be wise to take some time to think about it. But I've come so far, just in the past week, that I feel like I can't live like this, not anymore. I've spent far too much time of my life hiding myself, just living in my head. It's time to start living in the real world. To experience all the wonderful, beautiful things it has to offer that everyone else takes for granted, and that I have to shut myself off from. And I want it to start now, I can't wait. I think. Tomorrow at the festival I'm going to tell him. The thought terrifies me, but at the same time it excites me. No matter how it goes, I think it will be a relief to finally share my secret. And now that I really think about it, even if he takes it badly, I may still have other people to turn to. Natsuki, my newest friend, she said she understands the feeling of deserving pain. She would probably understand my habits. Or maybe Sayuri, my depression buddy, because it's my turn to tearfully confide in her. Even Monica could be someone I could turn to, although I'm less certain about how understanding she would be. Maybe things won't be so bad. There's nothing to do now, but wait and see. This is gonna be fun. I want to see how Monday is going to, because we know that Sayori kills herself and Luke doesn't appears in school, but then doesn't come back because Sayori dies. I wonder what's the point of view of the people that don't know that Sayori is dead yet. It's Monday morning. I'm awakened by the sound of the garbage truck pulling up. I dash to the window and look out to see the approaching our house. I'm seized by the wild idea to run outside in my pajamas and stop them from taking my knife collection away. But I resist. I stay put. It's agonizing watching the garbage collectors dump the contents of our garbage can into their truck without a second thought. I continue watching as they drive away. Soon they are too distant for me to hear them anymore. They're gone. They're really gone. I'm never going to see my knives again. Goodbye, my friends. I have to remind myself of all the reasons for doing this, so I don't sink into despair. Remind myself that I'm moving forward into a beautiful future. With him, I suppose. The next thing I know, my phone is in my hand. There are so many thousands of things I want to say to him that I don't know where to begin. But all of the most important things I can think of are best left for saying in person. I won't look him in the eyes when I tell him my secret. Just send him a generic message reminding him not to forget anything we need for the festival. His reply is mundane, but it makes me feel a little more at ease, being part of such a normal exchange. I will meet him at the festival and I will take him aside, and whatever will happen will happen. I pack everything up, the paint so I can finish the banner, the black papers, the origami curtain, the diffuser and the candles. All that's left to decide which knife to bring. Oh, right. I guess it's the empty space on my wall. It gives me a feeling of foreboding. Wait, foreboding? What the fuck is that? Oh well. But I am very firmly on this path now. I won't let anything change it. My knives and my cutting habits are a thing of the past. That's just the way it is now. Interesting. As I make my way through the school, I become increasingly anxious with each step. I hesitate outside the clubroom. I feel like whatever happens in the next few minutes is going to determine how the rest of my life goes. I nervously open the door. Monica's the only one here. She's sitting at one of the front desks with her head in her hands, looking despondent. Has she been crying? Where did I go wrong? Monica? She doesn't respond. I stand on the threshold of the clubroom, uncertain what to do. I enter the room cautiously and quietly set my things down. Monica, are you okay? There's an awkward pause. I can't imagine what could have happened to put Monica in such a bad mood. I take a seat next to her while I try to think of what to do. As terrible as it sounds, this might be an excellent opportunity for me. Maybe this is that one time I can really reach out to her. To not only connect with her, but to comfort her during what is apparently a troubled time for her. This feels like an important moment. I summon all my courage. I see that you're upset. Do you want to talk about it? You're not in the mood, okay? She doesn't even look at me. The moment stretches on in silence, just the two of us alone in the room. The spell starts creeping in. I'm no good at this. A normal person would probably know what to do, or what to say. I'm probably screwing up my own and one chance to make friends with Monica. She's still sitting in the same position, still muttering to herself. I can't give up, but what's the next step? I have to come up with something. While I try to think of what to do, I look around the room. Each of the desks has a very professional looking pamphlets on advertising the club. My attention is drawn to a very familiar banner in a crumpled heap on the floor. Is Luke here? Monica looks very irritated. Luke decided to hang out with Sayori today. This is strange. Why would he visit Sayori instead of helping set up for the festival? But he's coming later, right? For the first time since I arrived, Monica looks directly at me. She looks exasperated. He's not coming, Yuri. She turns away from me again and to resume muttering to herself. It takes a moment for her words to sink in. He's not coming. He wanted to be with Yuri so much that he isn't even going to fulfill his duties to the club. That's not it, but I guess you'll get it later. Look at the banner on the floor. The one we spent Sunday afternoon working on together. He just discarded it on the floor like it was a piece of trash and walked away. He didn't even want to stay long enough to say hi to me. It hurts more than I can bear. What did I do wrong? But of course there are so many possible answers. It could have been my weird behavior, something I did or say. It could be that Sayuri is just naturally more desirable than me. It could be that he finally realized how ugly I am. It could be that he was scared away by my fascination with knives. Okay, stupid cunt, let me tell you what is going on. What's going on is that Sayuri hanged herself. He's going back because he knows she has depression. And because of what Monica said, don't leave her hanging. Try to take this. My knives. The storm is raging inside me. My knives. I don't even have them to comfort me anymore. Tears start pouring down my face. How did things fall apart so completely? Ask the bitch that is sitting on the front desk. I thought he enjoyed our time on Sunday. I thought he would want to see me again. What a foolishness. What a foolish thought. Nothing like that ever happens to me. I just felt so good. I wanted it to last forever. And I even gave him my favorite book. I started sobbing into my desk. I gave up everything I value and now I have nothing. And I might not even have him as a friend anymore. I want my knives. I started hitting my head against the desk. I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I hit my head harder. Harder. What are you so upset about? I've forgotten that Monkey is still here. I'm sorry. Yuri, honestly, you have nothing to be upset about. He hates me. What was that? I tried to control my shakiness as my breath thing to get the words out. Luke hates me. Well, you've got to be kidding me now. How could you think something so stupid? In the last week he spent more time with you than anyone else. He likes Yuri more. Monica muttered something under her breath. Still it was to catch up his stupid teenage drama. I know I never deserved his attention. I know how unlikable I am. I don't know why he wanted to spend time with me. Monica rolled her eyes. I can think of two reasons. Yuri, did you consider that maybe he was drawn to you for your looks? But I'm so ugly. What? How can you think that? I can't say it. Oh, come on, I really have to know. Why is she even asking me? Isn't it obvious? Just thinking about it starts to fresh wave of tears. Monica turns to exchange. She speaks gently. Hey, she turns to fully face me. She reaches out and puts her hand on my shoulder. Whatever it is, I won't judge you for it. I promise. She gives me a kindly smile. Something about her physical contact makes me feel encouraged. My breasts are too big. Wow, seriously? Her eyes this shit. Excuse my language. She's laughing at me. There's no doubt about it. She's laughing at me. I should be used on it by now. But somehow it's different coming from Monica. The storm rises to a scream, all my feelings rushing through my mind. It overwhelms my sense. Just feel numb. Don't even feel like crying. I just want to cease to exist. I'm putting my hand down on the desk. I'm grasping my head between my hands. I'm digging my nails into my scalp. I'm trying to silently will the world to go away, hoping that when I open my eyes this nightmare will be over. But of course it makes sense for them to make Yuri scared and desirable whatever, but believe she's undesirable. It's very adult fantasy. Probably very adult fantasy too. I guess the protagonist is supposed to go up to her and be like, "Never fear, Yuri, for I am the man who likes big boobs." Heh, what a laugh. I almost feel sorry for them. Whoo! She's going nuts. Monica is going nuts and I'm actually enjoying it. She's being sarcastic. That's my kind of humor. What is Monica saying? She's only talking about me as I'm a character in a story. I cautiously look up to her. She has a faraway look in her eyes. It was probably written by some bared, middle-aged guy. That will explain a lot. I know that sometimes I get so lost in my books that I forget what's real and what's not. Sometimes I even get caught up into my waking fantasies too. I've always assumed that's just another sign of my weirdness, and I'm wondering if other people do it too. Or perhaps Monica isn't as normal as she thinks. Monica, what are you talking about? Hmm? I was just ignore me, Yuri. I have a habit of talking to myself when I'm alone. Did you just call me a character like in a story? And you know I'm real, right? Ah, believe me, I'm very aware of what's real and what's not. Actually, I guess I should thank you. You've cheered me up immensely. And you've given me some ideas. I still can't imagine what this is about. Ideas? What kind of ideas? Monica seems to consider me for a moment. Sometimes about the way she looking at me is making me nervous. She gets out of the chair and kneels down in front of me so that we are eye level with each other. Yuri, listen to me closely. She reaches up and brushes my hair aside so it doesn't cover my face. You're beautiful, okay? Wow. You're beautiful, okay? I shake my head. No, I'm not. I'm really not. Shh. Listen, you're being way too hard on yourself. Okay, let me put it another way. Everyone is beautiful. You, Sarah, Natsuki, and I are all different. Yet we're all beautiful to somebody. No matter who you are or what you look like, there'll always be some people you out there who like you. She gently wipes the tears away from my face with her fingertips. Yes, finally, some classmate bonding time, I guess. I still feel like there's a gaping hole inside of me, but a gentle contact does something to fill the void and brings a bit of myself back. And Luke really likes you. And that means that you're doing nothing but hurting yourself by believing you're ugly. I don't know what to think about this. It's certainly a nice thought, but there's definitely something off about Monica's whole demeanor. Like she isn't doing it just to be kind, but because she wants something from me. Besides, this may come as a shock to you, but big breasts are actually pretty popular. I mean, come on, look at mine. Do you think people dislike me for them? Ah, it's not just how I look. I'm different. I'm not normal. What's normal? Yuri, everyone's different. If it is normal for people to be different, the world is full of different people. I shake my head again. Not like this. Not like me. What could be so bad about you that would drive anyone away from you? I'm fidgeting with my sleeves. I think of all the scars on my arms. I don't think I can bring myself to answer her. I feel like I want to run away, to escape this uncomfortable topic, but I don't think I can bring myself to leave. She brushes my hair aside again. The tender way she's caressing my face soothes some small part of the ache permeating my body. It makes me want to go fighting her, but I can't talk about it. Okay, fine, let me put it another way. It's pretty obvious that Luke likes you. What would have to change for him to not like you? He doesn't like me. Wrong, try again. But he went to be with Sayori today. It's only natural for him to want to go with her. Sayori was his friend. Was? What? They're not friends anymore? Sorry, slipped it off the tongue. I mean to say she is his friend. Anyway, if you really can't think of anything, then that's the proof you have nothing to worry about, right? I feel strangely compelled to want to justify my feelings. Well, I used to have a habit that he wouldn't approve of. By any chance would this having involved hurting yourself? Oof. Right on the scars. I'm pretty sure my heart stops for a second. What? How did you know? Well, a moment ago you made a dent in that desk with your head. That was kind of a clue. Oh, I don't do that anymore. I'm putting a stop for that habit. Well, good for you. Please don't tell Luke about it. Monica smiles and gets wider. I wouldn't dream of it. I just really want to make a fresh start of things. A fresh start sounds like a good idea. In fact, sounds like a really good idea. There's going to be an act 2 and I'm gonna record it. This is gonna be fun. I can see the act 2 is going to be immensely more fun than this one because it's crazy. And it's crazy enough to make me like it in this mod. So, there you are. It's in the past. Nothing else is keeping you from him. This feels strange. Why is Monkey giving me all these undeserved compliments? No, what now? Honestly, I think my biggest problem is how obsessive I get. My obsession with knives fed my cutting habit. My obsession with Luke made me give up my favorite book on him. And it made me lose control when I was with him yesterday. Not to mention leading me to all the pain I'm feeling right now. I get too obsessed. What do you mean? I get too fixated on certain ideas. Once I get an idea in my head, I don't want to let it go. It's the single biggest source of all of my problems. But also I find arming and obsessive. You know, I think I can work with that. Huh? Monica, what do you want? Finally, it's time! The show is about to begin. Wait, no! No, I want! Of Act 1, okay! You got me there, you sick son of a bitch. You got me there. Act 2, finally, you sick son of a bitch. You almost got me. You almost fucking got me. Holy Jesus. End of Act 1. Why did you take so long to put on Act 1? Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, let's keep going. I'm curious. This is going to be a big ass video. I don't give a shit. It's Tuesday. I sit in my classroom seat pretending to look over my school notes. Oh, this thing is glitched. It's hard to focus on the class, as it usually is for me. Really, all I can think of is how much I looking forward to escape to my safe haven, the Leisure Club. Though it's a bit laughable that we all call it a club when it doesn't have enough members to be recognized as a club. Yes. Monica made a sensible decision to make me vice president, but as it is, the title is meaningless. It's just the two of us ruling over Natsuki. It's rather silly that we have more executive members than regular members, but I suppose I shouldn't complain, since it gives me the opportunity to read in company of others, which is nice enough, even if those other include someone as thoroughly unpleasant as Natsuki. Come to think of it, I wonder why the school allows a club to operate when it's only has 3 members. Because it's a game, not real life, but who am I to talk about it? I think that's the reason, but I can't seem to remember what it is. My memory feels strangely hazy today. I suppose Monica must have some influence over the teachers. She's rather popular after all. Anyway, it's not exactly true to say that the club is all I'm looking forward to, but what I'm really looking forward to is the time afterwards, when I get to home and cut myself. Oh boy. Here we go, the craziness has arrived. Few things are as enjoyable to me in life as the exquisite pain of my cutting habit, and all the thousands of little sensations that accompany it. Jesus fucking Christ, why? Like in the other one she was trying to be a normal person, in this one she's being a total weirdo. In this one she's really being a freak. I wouldn't, like, in this one I wouldn't fight someone that calls her a freak because she is being one. Like, god damn it. The sight of the blade entering my skin, the smell of the blood, the taste of my blood, the feeling of my blood rising to the surface and trickling out in little rivers. That doesn't sound like safe. That doesn't sound like healthy. Well, of course it doesn't sound healthy. It's self-harm, so whatever. And all the pretty little scars it leaves on my body. Pretty little scars is an understatement. There are no pretty scars. Jeez, I shudder in the light, imagining it. Bitch, why? All I can ask you is why? I feel really good today. Surprisingly good, actually. It makes me forget about my back pain because of your huge, humongous breasts. It even makes me forget about my social anxiety. Oh, I wonder if this is an omen that good fortune is coming my way. I wouldn't count on that, for real. As casually as possible, I reach down for my bag on the floor next to my seat. I just want to take a look at her for a second. I gently open my bag. She's so beautiful, it's making me wet just looking at her. God, what did Monica do to Yuri? Her most deep, things she thought now are all conveyed in one being. She's not keeping that to herself anymore. Holy Jesus. I brought Vernita today. Her green handle with the leafy pattern suggests nature, peace and serenity. Something I could probably use right now considering how excited I'm feeling. Reach down into my bag and run the tip of my finger along the Vernita's blade. Just a tip. I'll give her more later. I smell the light the sight of a drop of blood starting to bloom on the surface of my skin. I put my finger in my mouth. I taste my fluids while I resume pretending to look over my notes. It occurred to me that It occurs me to wonder why I can't just start cutting myself right now, but then I remember it's against my rules. Rules? Where did that come from? Since when do I have rules for this? I can't deny it though, I have a vague memory of that I made rules for myself around my cutting habits. That feels very unsettling. I'm sure that my memory is normally better than this. Why would I make rules for myself? Now that I really think about it, I definitely made a rule that I'm not supposed to let anyone know about my cutting habits. I hastily closed my bag and tried to hide my cut finger from everyone's view. I hope nobody saw that I did that. That would be embarrassing, I think. Do I have other rules? Yes, you do. And then tie 2. No, the other rules are, if I do remember, never let anyone knowing, never doing it like outside your home, and never do it more than once a day. That was the 3 rules that were mentioned. Like 2 rules on the last one and 1 rule right now. So nobody needs. Oh, no, that was also mentioned in the last one. So nobody can know. Not outside your house, and never twice a day. Not more than once a day. Fun. I just instinctively use the word rules plural, so I must have read this. I just can't remember any of them. Well. Just then the bell rings, signifying the end of class. Ooh, fun. It's going to start. Shit's about to hit the fan. I'm still puzzling over all this as I head to the club room. Those memory issues are soaring my good mood. Nah, don't worry. Right now I just feel like I want to get back to my book. Hi, Yuri. I'm so lost in thought I almost ran into Monica. Oh, hi, Monica. How are you doing today? I tried to recall what I was feeling before my memory issues. Well, now that you mention it, I'm feeling very good. Better than I have in a long time. That's great to hear, Yuri. I'm just running an errand right now, getting supplies for the festival. But I'll see you back at the club room, okay? Keep an eye on Natsuki for me. Very well. Oh, I want to see the fight between them though. It would be so much fun. Like, why don't you go look under the vending machines for some coins, bitch? I enter the club room. Natsuki is in one of the seats with her head down on the desk. Is she sleeping? I don't really care. I can't be bothered trying to figure out what her problem is. I just find my own seat and pull out my book. I try to focus on my reading, but my mind keeps wandering. I definitely feel different than usual today. I can't shake the feeling that this is a sign that something special is about to happen. It is, girl. It is something special, and it is about to happen, something cool and fun. After a few moments, Monica energetically bursts in through the door. That poor doorway. I'm back. Who would guessed? Wait. How was that done? That's about it. Okay. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Eh? A guest? Oof. Now I understand. I know what I've been feeling this way. The world was sending me a message that my one true love was coming. Holy shit. My heart is pounding harder than it ever has in my life just looking at him. I feel so delighted that I want to pull out my knife and start cutting myself right here and now. I'm vaguely aware that Monica and Natsuki are talking to him, but I can't seem to focus. My head is swimming, my hand feels clammy. I take great effort to stay calm enough to keep my breathing from getting too erratic. But I'm gradually able to get it under control as my heart rate slows to a more manageable level too. I don't even remember getting out of my seat, but I'm already standing in front of him. Natsuki is making him uncomfortable. I have to stop her. Natsuki. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual, and this is Yuri, the vice president. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Luke in the classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Luke, his name is Luke. Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry, I didn't forget that. Just happened to run into him. With Natsuki denied the opportunity to make cupcakes, this could work to my advantage. In that case, should I at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Get my kettle from the closet and leave the club room to fill it. But my whole body is shaking so bad that I've only got a few steps out when I have to brace myself against the wall to stay upright. I'm breathing so heavily that I feel like I'm hyperventilating. Who knew love could hit me so hard? Luke, this is not gonna be fun. This is gonna be amazing. I remember reading about love at the first sight from children's book ages ago, but I never realized how very, very real it is. This exhilarating feeling is the best thing I've ever experienced. Now I desperately want to cut myself more than ever. Oh no, Vernita is in my bag, inside the club room. I should go back for her? I stand there for a moment paralyzed with indecision. Well, if I'm really keeping my habit secret, then it will be too obvious if I go back just to pick up my knife. I feel frustrated. Why did I leave her in my bag? But now that I'm thinking about it, there really is no other place to put her. Not if I want to keep her hidden. These UPD uniforms don't have any pockets. How unpractical. I'll have to worry about her later. For now I should just focus on the tea. I quickly prepare the tea. I look over to Luke and the other girls where they've arranged the set of seats together. Monica is animated talking to him, seemingly trying to keep him engaged. Monica seems disinterested in the whole conversation. She looks like she barely has energy to keep her head up. I could never imagine trying to compete with someone as popular as Monica, but for the sake of my true love I have to try. I try to mutter a sentence of self-confidence to bring my tea set over the club. My hands are shaking so much it's a miracle that I don't spill any tea on anyone. Make up a whole tea set in this classroom? Luke notices me. My heart skips a beat. Don't worry, the teacher gave us permission. After all, doesn't the hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. That was more non-committal than I hoped. Don't let yourself get intimidated, you're just trying to impress you. That's not... I'm outraged. How dare Monica try to sabotage me in front of my love? Holy Jesus, this is gonna be fun. I'm liking this because of one thing. She's more intense in one way. I'm gonna take advantage of this. Because this is gonna be fun. But I can't bring myself to say anything to her. I'm fidgeting with my long hair in my eagerness to do something with my hands. I mean that, you know. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be the best time for me, but I at least enjoy tea. He enjoys tea. I should have made that with some, like, he enjoys tea. Well, who cares now? Of course, and the one that I'm destined to be with would. I'm glad I can't help grinning to myself. And of course, he would have a love books too. So look, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, he hesitates, looking embarrassed. He's shy, how cute. Manga. What? I feel a lurching sensation inside of me. He can't like manga, that's what Plansky likes. What about it? Manga is literature after all. Manga is good. Manga is fun. Manga is where animes came from. So I love manga. Yeah, manga is good to read actually. I'm going to receive one for my birthday, so manga is life. I prefer animes though, but manga is not bad. I can already see Natsuki perking up the first time she's down interested in this conversation. No, this is wrong. He can't end up with Natsuki. I feel confused and saddened. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. Of course, he would be willing to change for the sake of our love. Oh, fuck. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Now my chance to impress him. I find myself idly playing with my teacup as I collect my thoughts. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing. And telling you the story in such a far-gone world is equally impressive. I feel my confidence coming back. I know my love of books will make him love me. For fuck's sake. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. Excellent, I'm so pleased. I want to jump up and down in excitement, but that would probably be inappropriate. Yeah, that would probably be something Sayori would do. Either way. Oh right, I remember the last part of these mods. No, not the mod, but of these acts where Yuri puts a hand to herself. This is gonna be fun, to say the least. Not fun because she ends herself, but fun because I want to see her perspective about it. Hahaha, I expected that from Yuri. It suits her personality. Is Monica able to read my mind, or am I just that obvious? Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think of or takes me to another world, and then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Ugh, I hate horror. Who cares? Oh, why is that? Well, I just... Natsuki looks over to look for a split second. Never mind. What was that about? She'd better not be trying to move in on them. That's right, you usually like to write about kid stuff, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives that idea? You left a bit of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud and Give That Back. Fine, fine. Now you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? Why do you care? I think that's impressive. What? Why don't you share them sometime? What? What? No. You wouldn't like them. I'm not very confident writer yet. Why does he keep talking to her? He should talk to me. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have a writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. Share my work with the club? I don't know how to reply to that. The only one I want to share with is Luke. I guess it's the same for Yuri. There's a pause. I'm trying to think that to say it next, but I can't concentrate on distraction. Why? Keep. Please keep. Thank you. Now we can read. Now I can read. Okay. There's a pause. I'm trying to think of what to say to Luke next, but I can't. I concentrate. I'm distracted by his pants. I can't help staring at them. Like my eyes are transfixed by them. They have pockets. It's so unfair that boys' version of the uniforms has pockets and the girls' version does not. This whole hands fits in there. Incredible. I could easily fit 6 or 7 of my knives in there at least. I have a mad urge to put my hands in his pockets and find out how deep they go. Would that be inappropriate? Probably. I should probably resist that urge too, those beautiful hands. Look at how they slide in and out. It makes me want to... Holy fuck. Oh yeah, I just got an idea. How about this? I reluctantly turn my gaze back to Monica. Oh fuck. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Lord. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone's even. I don't like the way that's going. I don't know how to respond to that. What's the point of the exercise when nothing matters except him? I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, but on the other hand, it does give me more chances to interact with him besides. It's worth to see the discomfort on Natsuki's face. Oh, please. This is gonna be straight up fire. I'm gonna like this. I think you're right, Monica. We should probably start finding activities for us all to do and participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of vice president after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Luke? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? I never said I would join this club. Ugh, what? Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and this isn't possible. How can I be with my love if he isn't in the club? Probably he isn't your love. You should search somewhere else. Maybe a psychiatrist would do you good. That's what I probably would say. But I'm sorry, I thought we would be together forever. I look around at everyone in despair. My life seems to be falling apart right now in front of me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Luke. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really hard finding new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival, maybe Monica really is reading my mind. She said that she had to set things right by restoring my lover to me. Right, okay, I've decided then. I'll join Literature Club. I'm so elated I want to hug him while jumping up and down. I'm sure that would be inappropriate, though I try to contain my excitement and focus on getting my breath back in normal. You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after this, I would be super pissed. I wish Natsuki would just shut up, she's ruined the moment. But it doesn't take away from the fact that I'm on the path to a new leg of the journey of my life. It makes my heart pound the more I think about it. I completely lose any ability to follow the conversation after that. Don't tell me that. I'm thinking that I'll have to put plus 18 stuff in this again. Don't, please. I don't want to censor another video. Monica is still talking to him. I wish she would stop. How am I going to get with him if she keeps doing that? If my heart wasn't pounding so hard, I could probably come up and say something. I try to occupy myself with cleaning up my tea set, but I just can't seem to calm down. Finally he leaves, and my heart rate starts to slow down a little. This all feels wonderful, but I'm really going to have to try hard to control myself if I'm going to make this work. I need to come up with a plan. I think I'm going to need every advantage I can get if I'm going to have my happy ending with him. Jesus fucking Christ. I see Natsuki walking ahead of me in the hallway. On a whim, I start taking longer strides to catch up with her. Natsuki! Huh? Oh, here, you startled me. What's up? Give her my biggest smile. If you go near him, I'll kill you. What the hell? I skip away ahead of her, humming to myself as I go. I hear her voice calling after me. Are you trying to be edgy or something? I feel a lot calmer now. I'm still having a little trouble concentrating, but it's clear that I have to do everything I can to show him that I love him. That doesn't happen, first of all, and second of all, I wish that happened in, like, the DLC. It would make the plot so much better. Like, she just goes up to Natsuki and says, if you go near him, I'll kill you. And that would be fun for one little fact. Because Natsuki is the only one that on Act 2 is going to understand that something is wrong with Yuri. And that will be fun to watch. I should give him a gift. I immediately change the direction I head towards the bookstore. I know just what to give him, a copy of my favorite book. I pick up my pace, flooded with excitement. I'm running as I enter the bookstore. My heart is racing again as I head straight to the horror section. It doesn't take me long to find what I'm looking for. I would recognize that bright red eye on the front cover anywhere. After paying for it, I carry it in front of me. I am having so much trouble containing my excitement that I end up running all the way home. I'm panting from exhaustion as I get to my room. I set my bag and my new book on the floor. I lay on my bed. I contented smile despite the pain in my chest from running. I hug one of my pals, pretending it's him. Tell me that you'll have a crazy smile. I can't help but laugh. I laugh and laugh. I can hardly breathe from laughing. I allow the full glory of the realization of my destiny to wash over me. I feel a warm and tingly all over. I laugh and I have tears in my eyes. Wait. This smile is new and I'm going to use it as a... Well, you already know what I'm going to use it as, so I don't give a fuck. As is only natural, now that fate is smiling on me, everything in my life has been building up for today. Don't have to be alone anymore. I'll have him by my side and everything will be perfect. Let out a long sigh of happiness. I squeeze the pillow harder. I stroke it with my hands. I kiss it. I pretend to put my knife into it. This is the best one. Nah, I'm keeping this one. This is going to be the... What's the name? The thumbnail. That's it. Some small part of me reminds me that it's inappropriate to have such lustful thoughts about someone I just met. But this is love. It's different. That makes it okay, right? And speaking about lust, I set the pillow aside and sit up. Don't do it. Don't. Oh wait, if it's cutting, I guess, because it doesn't show. If she's going to do something else, I'm going to be pissed because I don't want to censor another video. It's time for the one thing I've been looking forward all day. I go to my bag and pick up Vernita. I haven't forgotten about you, my little darling. Why are you suddenly talking like Alistair? Why? I kiss her handle. Don't worry, just because I've met a soulmate doesn't mean I care about you any less. You'll always be my dearest friend. I turn my knife collection hanging on the wall. That goes for all of you, my friends with benefits. I giggle to myself again, and my anticipation is building up, but I know I should really clean Vernita up first since she's been in my bag. She's happy, which is unusual. Okay. As I enter the bathroom, I catch my delighted reflection in the mirror. Well, hello there. How was the day? Mine was amazing. I met my future husband. His name is Luke. We're going to be together forever, and we'll make love and cut each other for all night, every night. I'm so excited I almost forget that I came in here for I opened my medicine cabinet to get a bottle of rubbing alcohol. I don't even know why it's in there. It's so inconvenient. I should just keep it in my room from now on. I nearly trip over the book as I come in. Well, hello, you two. Hello there, you two. I pick it up off the floor and set it on the bed. Out of curiosity, I go to my bookcase and pull out my own copy of the book. I set it down next to the new one. They look like a pair of eyes gazing into me. I briefly consider getting yet another copy so there will be a third eye, just like in the story. And then I found myself getting lost into fantasy. He's been captured. How dare you try to take him away from me? But my Verneda help. But with Verneda's help, I know we'll be reunited. I tiptoe around the room, imagining that I'm in human experiment prison. There he is, tied to the bed. I dig down next to the bookcase. I don't like the way this is going because I know what's going to happen next. There ain't gonna be savement. There is going to be rape. I'm not going to hand that word. Not now. Duck down next to the bookcase. I'll have to choose a moment carefully. When they're distracted, I imagine the two scientists engaged in conversation with their backs to me. Now's my chance. I sneak up behind them and cut his throat. Mimicked action with Verneda, imagining the torrents of blood coming out of the drops on the floor. The other scientist turns to me in surprise, and with deadly precision put Verneda right into his heart. I step at the air in front of me. I watch the life leave his eyes with satisfaction, and with that taken care of, I turn to my lover and say, "It's good to see you again, Luke. We'll never be apart again." And then he says, I do my best to imitate his voice. I guess it was destiny that we would meet here. I see that you've skilled with that knife. And I say her name is Verneda. And it's time you'll know her as intimately as I do. And he says I can't wait. I approach him slowly. I can see in his eyes that he's longing for this as much as I am. And with one swift movement I cut his hand off. Oh. That's dark. I pretend to bring it to my lips and kiss it, imagining the blood running down my chin. Soon his beautiful hand will be a part of me. The more I think about it, the more aroused I feel. My hands are shaking from excitement as I sit on my bed wiping down Verneda's blade with alcohol. This time I want you. I lift up my skirt. Don't do this to me. Okay, it's on the thigh. Why would you cut your thighs? I mean, it's easier to hide than your arms, but why? I choose a spot on my right thigh and wipe that down too. The extra sting from the alcohol will make the experience that much more intense. I gently, ceremoniously bring Verneda's blade in contact with my thigh. Ever so slowly I drag her from left to right. She breaks through my skin effortlessly. I moan with pleasure as I see drops of blood trickle out of the cut I'm making. I extend my knee so that the blood can run down the long length of my leg. I shudder with delight as the smell of blood hits my nostrils. I briefly entertain myself by watching the droplets of blood, wondering which one will reach the bottom first. My leftmost one wins the race easily since it's the head start. I lean back on my bed and sit with contentment, letting the euphoria wash over me. I take a moment to recover and sit up to get ready for the next cut. But then I notice something strange. I lift my skirt all the way up. I'm puzzled by what I see. The cut that I just made is the only one there. There are no other marks or scars or anything. I set Verneda down and is on my bedside table. There's nothing wrong here. I pull off my shoes and stockings. And there are no marks on my lower legs or on my feet either. I'm more than puzzled right now. I'm feeling alarmed. I hastily strip off my uniform. I'm feeling more and more panicked. The more I look at my body. There are no cuts on my abdomen, my breast, or anywhere I can see or feel on my torso. No cuts on my neck, my buttocks. The only sign of cuts I have otherly set of scars on my forearms. Right, only a few on my right arm. And all of them look old and healed over. How can this be? This makes no sense. I cut myself all the time, don't I? There should definitely be more marks than this. If I didn't know any better, I would say it looks like I haven't cut myself for weeks. But for the marks on my forearm, I might think that I completely imagined that I had cutting habit at all. It's almost as if the memory of someone who enjoys cutting is placed in someone else's body. I wish my memory wasn't feeling so unreliable today. As I try to cast my mind, the word rules comes back to me again. I had a rule that I wouldn't cut myself away from home. That I look at my hand, at the cut I made on my finger at school today. I guess I broke that rule. I think I also made a rule that I said I wouldn't cut myself more than once a day. I look at the other cut on my thigh. I guess I broke that rule too. Why did I make these rules? It's It's almost like as if I thought that cutting myself is a bad thing. But that's absurd. I don't understand any of this. How bad is it that I broke my rules? I only think The only thing for sure is that I feel very confused and unsettled right now. I look at Vernita, my blood gas glistering on the blade. I'm sorry, really sorry, but I don't think I'm in the mood anymore. I take some tissues from the tissue box and besides the table, and start biting up the blood on my leg. Walk over to my bag and feel a bit of relief when I find a box of bandages in there. At least some things are as I remember them. Right, there are definitely physical signs that I have a cutting habit. They just don't exactly match my memory. But now I can even trust my... But how much can I even trust my memory now? I continue pondering this as I apply bandages to the cut on my thigh. Could I be losing my mind? Yes, precisely. Come to think of it, I have a distant memory of a classmate at school calling me crazy. Maybe they're right. Look down at my body again, the absence of scars is disturbing me. I should get dressed. Might as well change into my pajamas since I won't be going out again today. As I change, I try to avoid looking at my hideous, scarless body. Well, as troubling as all of this is, I don't know if there's anything I can do right now. I should focus on more important things that I can be sure of, such as the fact that Luke is the love of my life and I have to do everything I can to be with him forever. This is gonna be fun. Obsessiveness turned to 100. I look over at the two books in my bed. Which one should I give him? But of course I'm going to give him the new one, that's how he'll know I love him. Why didn't I even ask that? Such a strange thought kept coming into my head. I slipped the new book into my bag for tomorrow, then turned to my bed and opened my old friend. And flipping through the pages brings back some measure of calm. I smile as I relive the events of the club. The events of the book that I know so well. I think I might like to reread it again. I place it in my bag next to the other one so I can bring it to school tomorrow. I suppose now I ought to write the poem that Monica wants. My mind feels so hazy though, I can't think of what to write about. I pull up my notebook and sit down at my desk to flip through it looking for inspiration. There are plenty of stories about escapism into fantasy worlds that to be expressed. Lots of poems about a storm, I don't know what that means. And several about my cutting habits, but there's ones about my cutting habits all are about anguish, self-loathing and deep emotional pain. I don't remember writing any of these, but they're in my handwriting, so I was definitely the one who wrote them. I looked through the whole notebook and I can't find a single about how enjoyable cutting myself is. It's as if I disliked my cutting habit for years and then suddenly started liking it today without any memory of the transition. Is this issue going to keep coming over and over again? I wonder if I've always had memory problems, but I just can't remember them. That's a bit of conundrum, now that I think about it. There's clearly some kind of serious discrepancy in my life. I can't ignore this. Well, whatever I may have felt before, it's pretty clear that I'm a lot happier now. And if I can't remember the reasons that I wanted to stop cutting myself, then maybe they're not important. In fact, maybe that's why I was so miserable in the first place. Because I was giving up on the only thing I enjoyed. I must have had a very empty life. Maybe it's just as well that I can't remember it. Maybe I'll write about it. This ghost of life that I used to have. Once the idea comes to me, I'm able to write it down quickly. I write the title at the top, Ghost Under the Light. It's a little short, but anything I add to it will seem like unnecessary padding. Now that it's done, I can turn my attention to other matters. This lack of pockets on my uniform just won't do. The blazer has little flaps that look like they're supposed to resemble pockets, but that's it. That's the point. What's the point of having fake pockets? I'll never understand. I rig up my sewing kit. With a bit of work I'm able to add pockets to the front of my blazer. It's just a matter of cutting the hole under the useless flap and the front and then adding some material on the inside from some old clothes that I don't care about. And I'm done. I test it, wear wearing it over my pajamas and repeatedly putting Vernita in the pocket and taking her out again. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with the result. I'll be able to have much easier access to my knives at school from now on. I think that's a good note to end the day on. I get ready for bed dreamily looking forward for tomorrow and all the wonderful tomorrows to come. When I'm awakened the next morning, I don't get out of bed right away, and that's where I save because I'll make a cliffhanger. So guys, I'm enjoying this mod, and right now I think I'm going to enjoy it even more because this is a part of story I've explored a bit by myself, but I never thought I would actually see it from another perspective, so I never knew how to actually react from it. I like the way this is going for one thing and one thing only, because I can actually see and experience what's going to happen from now on, and that's actually good. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like, comment down below what you thought of it, and well, I'll see you guys in the next episode. See you on the other side. Goodbye, pal.